But
Oh, yeah.
I almost went to Jersey because uh, at the agency I'm with, they were going to do a workshop, and I was like, "Oh yeah, got my passport. Yep, it's good. Got the 10-year passport. All awesome." And it's been a couple years, but I figured I'm still good. And then I bought my plane ticket, and then the night before, I'm getting everything ready, get my passport, and I realized the passport expires the day of me going. I was like, a 10-year passport, and it like to
That
the
day.
day. Yeah, I was like, wow. So I didn't end up going to Jersey.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, where would the event have been in New Jersey?
I have no idea.
No idea.
I get on my my idea of traveling is I kind of put things in where I go, and I just where do I gotta go to the airport. Okay, I gotta get into this on this bus, and then that's about it.
Yeah, so a lot of people like fly into Newark, which is outside of New York City.
Yes.
And Newark is not really very representative of the state, to be honest. Like it's a lot of industry, a lot of like mini cities, and yeah, it just doesn't really reflect the rest. So I'm out in rural New Jersey, which is all pastures, farmland, cows, like that kind of like good living,
Is that
right?
where Jersey Milk? Is that
Never.
where Jersey Milk comes from?
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, it's a great idea. Make a really cool countdown and then have a link to how to make a countdown timer as your pinned comment.
I actually wrote an app that makes the countdown timer. Which I'll turn the volume down so
I'm wondering, like
we can.
this guy's monetized this and he's got 29 million. Like to think a 5 minute stock timer video probably made this guy like hundreds or thousands of dollars.
Oh, 100%.
That's
Absolutely.
that's insane.
Interesting.
Well,
Yeah, no,
hel- well, hello, Mr. Corey. How are you doing today? That good, eh? Great talk. Great talk.
I just wanted to introduce myself. It's 6 a.m. over here in California, so I'm going to be off camera, but I'm
Uh,
Sonia.
hey,
good
nice to
morning,
see you,
son.
Sonia.
Good morning. I
That's
just
dedicated.
subscribed, so I have these on my calendar, and I like to attend when I can. This is my first one, so I'll be a fly on the wall, just kind of checking things out.
I won't
Well,
pick on you
welcome.
too much then.
Okay, thank
Yeah, I
you.
was gonna say we'll try and pick on you a little bit at least.
Hey, I'm tough. I can handle it. If I can live in
Wonderful.
California, I can handle anything.
What kind of what kind of a business? You running an agency? Do you do
Yeah, I'm
freelancing?
agency. Been in the online space for about 12 years now, and discovered high level a few years ago, and now I'm really starting to dig into it. I'm kind of a geek. Like I forget, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Mario? Is it?
Yes,
Mario,
Mario.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I'm a
Mario and
double E.
Luigi.
Yeah, I'm a double E. So I have that background, so
Oh, cool.
I kind of geek out on systems and things like that. So, but this is high levels new to me, and I'm now digging into AI agents. So I was actually watching your video last night or this early this morning on creating newsletters. So
Oh, awesome.
with
Yeah,
innate, yeah.
I actually broke out my soldering iron the other day
Uh,
and was very proud of myself that I didn't burn my fingers or like accidentally like stick my pins together. Um, I but I was most upset because I couldn't find my multimeter,
no,
and it's a 34401 alpha, like it's a benchtop multimeter. It's the size of a small briefcase.
that's
Like
funny. That is
I
funny.
have no idea where it went. And I looked on all my shelves, like I'm sure it's in a box somewhere, but I was laughing to myself that I still got the skills.
Yeah,
So reading certain diagrams.
you're really geeking out. I left that world when I went into sales a long time ago. So I guess I got involved long enough to meet my husband, who's also a double E, and then I just said, forget it. I don't know. I gravitated more towards the sales and marketing, so that's kind of how I got here. But
That's awesome. That's really cool.
but yeah, I'm actually on your calendar. I want to talk to you about building out a server for me. So
Yeah, absolutely. Let's definitely chat.
Mar Mario's the dude for that.
yeah,
He loves
Yeah,
to
man,
serve.
I I love I built out an MCP, or well, I found an MCP for N8N, which MCPs, for those of you that aren't familiar, are model context protocols. It's basically like giving the AI insight into the API calls and like what you need to like run, like what each API call does. And it is so freaking powerful. I can just talk to Claude. Like I just put it on voice mode and I just talk to Claude and then it just builds out N8N scenarios for me.
oh wow, yeah, we have to talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
My mind, as I've been digging more and more into AI, my mind is just all over the place on just the possibilities, especially as it relates to building out funnels and just helping non-tech folks as well as non-sales folks be able to sell and offer things online. So,
That's
Yeah,
awesome. Well, we
one big thing I know with AI is start keep it as simple, just like with anything automated, right?
yep,
You
yep,
know, like automate things that are working and that are defined. And if you can keep to that, because it's very easy to because AI will make you think that everything's working and you got it, and then it'll get you 90% of the way in like an hour, and then you'll spend the next 2 weeks troubleshooting the
yeah.
next 5%, right? So yeah.
It's like writing a program. Now I'm going to age myself. I used to do Pascal and Fortran, and so we'd be in the lab and you get it right, and that one piece isn't working, or it's not working, and you spend, like you said, hours trying to figure out why it's not working.
Mhm. Well,
All
you are
right. Well, let's go ahead and kick it off. Welcome, everyone. My name is Mario Aldiz. I'm the head of partnerships here at HL Pro Tools. And I have with me the absolutely wonderful Mr. Michael Pacito, master of taming disasters. He is, I know, I came up with that one earlier or before we got on the call. I was like, I got to think of something creative to say about Mike.
the
So
disaster
Michael,
tamer.
the disaster tamer. Michael is an absolute expert in snapshot management, and all things high level. His experience is pretty extensive. He has an amazing coaching program that basically teaches you how to properly structure your systems and designs the overall architecture of what you need to put together and how to effectively implement it without stepping on your own feet, tripping over them, and falling on your face on a regular basis. I know before I met Mike, I used to build snapshots and I've been working in high level for 7.5 years, building snapshots. And he opened my eyes to how much more efficiently things can be done and how not to overscope projects and a whole variety of other things. So, all that to say, welcome, Michael. Thank you so much for being our coach today. And with that, I will let you take it away and I will sit here and absorb all of your knowledge.
Well, thank you so much, Mario. I'm like that. Changed dude to the disaster tamer Pacino. And to Joe and Warren, we got Andrea, Corey, and Sonia. Thank you guys so much. As we said, Thursday mornings, we're here to talk about snapshots. If you throw questions, I know a couple of you are very, very early. And so jumping on mic and cameras is not always the easiest thing. So if you throw questions in the just in the chat, you can just respond, make fun of the things I say, or just ask if like, hey, if something wasn't clear, just throw stuff in the chat. We're going to be this interactive, go down any rabbit hole and just try and help you guys out. Today, I have two things really special. One, we're going to tell you at the end. you'll have to stick to the end to get to it. But the first thing that we're going to get that is really special is I wanted to show you guys AI that does tech support better than you can, better than I can even. And there's a lot of AI stuff out there where, we're used to general chatbots and we kind of know the limitations, right? I use AI all the time. It's awesome, but I would not often say that it's better than humans at things. And the reason why you're able to get AI for snapshots in particular, or for high level, is that I've figured out a way to document things that makes the AI really leans on the AI strengths, which is being able to navigate large amounts of information and stay away from its weaknesses, which is, and one of the weaknesses, whoa, there we go. One of the weaknesses of it is where it kind of hallucinates off, or it has a lot of information to pull, so it pulls one bit of information and doesn't get the next bit. So what's really, and the breakthrough from this wasn't anything exciting. I actually didn't do anything for it. Airtable released an AI as part of its current offering. And as some of you know, I like Airtable. That's where I do all my documentation. And the AI, just without me doing anything different than in my normal day, I just woke up one day and started using the AI, and it was next level fantastic. And the reason why it's better than me is that I would ask it tech support questions. So we get some customers, they're sending in tickets, and I wanted saying, hey, how is that AI going to respond? So, every day when I'm answering tickets and support questions, throwing it in. And what was interesting is it didn't just get like the right answer. And I'd say it's about as accurate as normal, but where it got better was it found connections within the snapshot that I either didn't think about or I had forgotten about. So I was asking, hey, how do I set up a weekly newsletter in my snapshot? And it told me how. It said, hey, you need to add this tag to this contact, and that tag will send them through this workflow. But then it also said, oh, and by the way, you have this other workflow, this 52-week email campaign that kind of works like a newsletter as well. So that's an alternative. And that blew my mind, because I was like, I would have never have thought of that. I literally would have never have thought of that. So I wanted to bring this into you guys. Why is this applying to snapshots? Is because I'm a big on documentation. Oftentimes we talk, yes, we have to document our stuff. We need to know what's in our snapshots. We need to know, have it written down how it works. But I wanted to give you guys a light at the end of the tunnel that it's not just about having that documentation. If you do it properly, it opens up a whole other world that you wouldn't otherwise have access to. So I'm just going to show you, and the AI is going to prove me wrong, because when you ever make some big claims and then you try and show people, AI likes to bug out, but we're going to trust that it's not going to do that today. Cool. So I'm just making sure we're sharing the screen, and I just have to hide a couple bit of client data and all that. So this Airtable is, well, one part I can't show is I have within my company here. I'll just get rid of that. This is where I have all of our different folders. I have all of our different workflows and such. And so for those who haven't seen it before, the big thing that we do is we document on the asset level. I don't have big giant like text documents of stuff. All right. So there we go. Just getting that out of the way. So what can I ask it? So I'm going to ask in the business essentials snapshot, and this again, built-in AI out of Airtable. In this Airtable, how do I add a contact to the 52-week email campaign? Well, let's just see where it goes. And of course, AI is going to do something a little bit different and not going to behave today. It could also be because you ask it the exact same question. Okay, for some reason, AI is bugging up today. I'm going to have to look at that in a second and make sure I have the right thing there. Oh man, so I was so looking forward to there. Give me 2 seconds there,
Isn't it
guys.
funny how isn't it funny how it's always like the moment you want to demo it, all of a sudden like they put in a special character in their email address or something, and you didn't factor in for that one thing, and now the AI is like, well, I don't know what to do. Like, can't help you there.
Yeah, the other thing too is on this one is I do have this is a live thing where I've changed a lot of I probably might have changed something in the last couple days too. Um, so we're gonna just jump. We're gonna have to just show this off in a second, maybe at another spot. So the big reveal of what we're talking about is being able to use the AI. You know, I have to show this one there. Give me 2 more seconds, and I will just get a question in here that it seems to like. Um, what are the onboarding steps? It also could be that Airtable does change their AI. They did just do a big release this week, and so maybe they're tweaking it and it's bugging out as well. So I even did videos on this yesterday on asking the same questions. Okay. Got a couple questions there. It's an AI conspiracy there. So also, all right, here we go. It's starting to do stuff again. That the error that I was getting, it wasn't even an error. What it was doing was it was thinking I was asking Airtable related questions. And anyway, I asked a question, what are the onboarding steps for our business essentials? So what it's doing is it started looking through all of the different tables in Airtable. And it found out that, hey, here's all the onboarding steps. And what it did is it found all of the onboarding steps that are associated with the business essentials snapshot. You know what? I'm just going to put it all open here so we can see. So what it did was it started looking through and it found that not only do we have onboarding steps, so I have 5 of them documented for this snapshot, it also said, well, here's the steps before going live. So it found all of that information and compiled it into and it went through. So it went through my onboarding here. It found, okay, here's all of our business essentials snapshots. And it went through all of the onboarding steps. I didn't have to click around and do it. And it found just what I needed. Let's go and give it something else here where it's saying the newsletter. Let's see. I set up the newsletter in the business essentials snapshot. And added a contact via a tag, but it is not sending the newsletter to the contact. And see how it handles this one. So it's thinking, again, that bug was happening. It was thinking I was asking Airtable questions and it kind of shuts down because it doesn't want to reveal that how the Airtable AI works. That was the first thing I did. I don't know about you, Mario, but when I get an AI, the first thing I do is I try to get the AI to tell me things it's not supposed to.
Yep,
So it's
100%. Actually, there was a a competition to try and break get an AI to break character. It was actually hosted by BotPress, and they put in some secret basically a Easter egg in the AI, and it was really fun to try and get it to like do stuff it wasn't supposed to. But it's crazy how like yeah, that my first thing I do is I just try and break it. Like I'm just like, just smash it with a hammer and see how it goes.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. AI is behaving now. So I set up the newsletter. I added the contact tag, the newsletter tag. Why is it not working? So it looked up and it said verify the tag setup. And it also noticed because there's actually in this snapshot, there's actually 2 tags that are called newsletters. One of them is the actual newsletter tag for the mailing list. And then there's a second tag called EO6 newsletters, which is the subscription preferences. So that's whether they have permission to send newsletters. So one of them is the actual, this is the mailing list. The other one is permission for that. So it looked through and it found out, it looked through all of my modules, all of the tags, and it realized that, hey, if you added the newsletter tag, but it's still not sending, check for the other newsletter tag, the EO6 one. There's also a custom field that it found in the snapshot, and it said that there's this custom field that makes sure that it says yes, because this tag here, by the way, what it does is it sets a custom field, and there's a big techie reason I did that, but the fact is that's something that, that's complicated, right? A lot of people aren't going to remember that, hey, there's 2 tags and a custom field, and what do those things all do? And what's cool is you can go right in the answer, you can go right to the actual record that it's referencing. So in this, I have a little how to use document on how to use the subscription system. So it's telling me there's more information. And then after that, it said, here's the test you should do. So it summarized the testing process so that after you've gotten the advice, it could go through it. And then it gives a lot of extra information if you need kind of more things, right? So why this is really powerful is, and as I said, all I did is I didn't have to use any fancy bot tools. I didn't have to use N8N. So if you're not in that bandwagon, if you're not talking to Martin, you're not doing some fancier AI bot stuff, there's not a big hurdle. This is something that is, if you just document things in a correct way at the asset level, if you document all your tags, your workflows, and you say what each one does and how to use it, AI becomes 1,000 times more powerful than just giving it some general onboarding documents or some random write-up about how your snapshot works. So that was what I wanted to show you guys there today, is that for documenting things and using AI, it's ridiculous. And as I said, like, if you have juniors, if you're starting to hire VAs, they might not know the snapshot that you built as well as you do, right? But if you document things and you put all your knowledge into your documentation, you can have, VAs or people who aren't familiar with your snapshot, you can give them a leg up. So now they don't have to come to you for questions. They can get very in-depth answers here. And this is a better way of doing it than the other way, which is get the AI to write your documentation and it'll give you like 1,000 pages that nobody will ever read. What you actually want to do is create maybe it's not 1,000 pages, but you want to create your documentation. And then for the user that's using that needs the information, make their life easier. And I find this has been a massive game changer. Was someone jumping on the mic to want it? Hey, Gabe,
Yeah,
how you doing today?
Oh,
jump in, Sonia.
I didn't know if this
I
was
see
the
your
time
hand.
to ask questions, so I don't want to. This is my first
Yeah,
time.
anytime.
Okay.
Please interrupt
So-
me. I love it.
So you opened my eyes to something I hadn't thought about. I don't know much about Airtable. I've heard of it. I was trying to do something similar, but it's nearly not as good as what I'm seeing here in Google Drive because I just would get lost. I need to be able to document my tags, what they do, my workflow. So I just have like a spreadsheet with tabs kind of doing this, but this goes in more depth. And so I'm just wondering, do you have any, it's not the purpose obviously of today's session where I can learn a little bit more about
100% this is all about snapshots, and this is what we're talking about. So I have a tool called Snapshot Manager Pro.
Okay.
And I've also have a full training on how to document. I have a free training that you can give to your VAs, and it gets you up to speed with the basics.
Mhm.
But then I have Snapshot Manager Pro, which is basically that. I spent hundreds of hours documenting things, building out my own documentation system, and I made it a template in Airtable that is part of my new membership. It's $500 usually, but now it's part of the monthly membership. And I'm always improving it as I get feedback from people that are using it. But all it is in a nutshell is really, it's a place to write down your workflow names, the description, and then you can link it. And this is where the power is, by the way, over a spreadsheet. You can have like a workflow and I can link it. So this is a form field. That means that there's a form being referenced in this workflow. So if you write down what things do, how do you onboard them, what are the how to use it, and then you also give it the information of how does it link in the snapshot, what's it connected to. That's when the AI gets powerful because the Airtable AI built in, it can read this, like it can open things up and read what's here and what's connected.
So by
Um,
that field meaning like if there are any forms associated or used in that snapshot, is that what that means?
Yeah. So what I did is I basically well, I have something up that I could show. Yeah. Basically what I do is my documentation process when I actually I usually I document things as I go, but if I was coming into a new project or like yourself, I'll just grab a random workflow. What you do is you come in, you have the name, and by the way, don't want to get too deep into things, but I have an automatic naming system in this so that you can eliminate, typos, and
That's
there's a
probably
whole
the,
ID.
that's probably the hardest part is like properly naming, because remembering how I do my naming conventions and always standardizing it and doing like 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 and all that stuff. So that's one of the things I love about Snapshot Manager Pro is that it actually gives me the naming conventions and like helps me to name my workflows properly. This AI thing is freaking sweet though. Like
That's
I
what I
haven't
need.
actually seen
That's what I need, Mario, because I'm going through that now. It's like
it.
I was going down one path and then I started something new. And was it 0, 1 or was it one? And it gets confusing. So
Yeah. So I have a whole training on how that in the full membership, or if you get the Snapshot Manager Pro, I explain all that. But let's just go. So basically, what I do is back to the original thing. There is I go through a workflow. I go to the top and I go open up everything. And if there's anything connected, or if there's any assets that would be in the snapshot or the account, I go back into Snapshot Manager Pro and I said, let's say that was a trigger link. I just go to the trigger links, I click it open, and I'd either link it to an existing one or I just go and create the trigger link. And then I could just create a link there. But yeah, so that's the documentation process. It's a little extra step because a lot of people, they wait until the end to document things. But if you go line by line, you go through every single workflow and you connect everything. After you get good at that, you'll never go back. Like I don't know any other way. Oh, finally Airtable opened. But yeah,
yeah.
this is if I wanted to create a new trigger link.
Okay, thank you. And hopefully at the end you'll share with us how we can join
Yeah, all
that.
this stuff. Yeah. I'll be throwing all that in very short. And yeah, so keep the questions. Do you have any other questions on this? Feel free to ask follow-ups.
Yeah, I guess the use case, like not so much the documentation, but it sounds like you build this to be able to make life easier for the support people because they can just use AI to just, hey, this is what's happening. It's the Airtable AI that knows how to go into this data and then be able to give that support person specific, I guess, leads that might help solve the problem a lot faster or
Yes.
get to a solution a lot faster. That's
Even before the AI, I've been documenting for probably about 5 years and developing this over the last 5 years. And I do it every day in the agency that I do full time. And even before that, some of the problems that when we're just starting out, we're only thinking about ourselves usually, right? Because
right.
we might be a solo person. That's totally cool. But the actual problems we need to solve are like, well, there's somebody eventually who's managing the onboarding, right? There's an account manager. You have tech support people. You might want to hand this build off to another builder at some point. You might want to get somebody who can help you, like might do the updates or fix bugs. All of these people, they need a very specific set of information to do their job. And so how I've structured everything is I just think, what are all the problems that happen over time that it's usually too late to retroactively get, right? Like if there's something broken and there's no documentation, you can't get your documentation before you can fix stuff. Like it's already too late. Um, and so I just built into this Airtable every piece of information that you have to have if you're scaling. If you're still growing and getting your first couple clients, uh, there's some things you can take, it's okay to take some shortcuts to get momentum going. That's totally fine. But once you have something that you want to invest in and grow and scale and start really pushing, this is all the information, the minimum viable documentation that you need to solve these problems. And then the Airtable was just the AI was the icing on the cake. That was just vindicating that everything I was doing was the right way. Like even things like one of the naming conventions that I preach about is make your workflow names the trigger and the outcome,
Hmm.
either what it specifically does or what is the ultimate goal outcome of this workflow. And I've always done that just because I like to be able to come into a workflow and I can look at the names and know what that workflow does, like just for me, right? But what it's also done is now that we have AI, the AI doesn't have to go in and it doesn't have to parse as much information. It has more context right in the name, right? And so that's why I think the AI blows everything away that I've ever been able to do with AI, is because I've just given it the information that it needs, because I've solved all those. We've already gotten all that, right? So
It's somewhere in the AI, did you, or not AI, but well, yeah, did you tell Airtable AI that that's what the naming convention means? So it knew?
Um, I think I have some descriptions, and it might look at those ones. I think it does a bit. So, yeah. So because I formatted this to sell, so it's like I have all of these descriptions on stuff when it's useful. So like the series, I have descriptions on that. Um, so that probably is helping as well. Um, I even made a recent change. I used to call this sub accounts. I'm not going to go into details on why and all that, but it's because a snapshot was essentially linked to a sub account. Uh, I recently changed that now to snapshots and versions instead of sub accounts and snapshots, because the AI was getting a bit bugged out with the word sub account. Because I would ask about the snapshot and then it would ignore this and go to, yeah. So yeah, the naming conventions help, and the consistency. Like I spent like 100 hours rebuilding this all, going through every single field to make them all named correctly and consistently. So yeah, that definitely helps.
Last question, I'm going to shut up after this. So Airtable, I'm new to it. What was it designed to be? It sounds like the AI component was an enhancement.
Oh, so Airtable is just a database, like spreadsheets, but a database, and the AI is specifically built with Airtable to navigate their own database, right? So one of the problems I've had when I've been building AI stuff is I have to create a connection that integrates with Airtable, and then I have to rebuild, teach it how to look through stuff. And there's so much troubleshooting in that. With this, the Airtable AI, they've already built it to look through their own app, so I don't have to build any third-party app. It's just I turned it on and it just worked, and I was like, "Oh, perfect. I'm done." Like there's nothing else I really needed to do other than give it the data and structure it correctly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Airtable is a relational database designed for mapping objects and mapping data between different tables and being able to, at a systems level, see to be able to visualize everything. So it's like a SQL database,
Mhm.
but a lot more user friendly for like storing data without having to use like PHP or like a SQL editor and stuff like that. So it also has it's like if you took ClickUp, a SQL database, and Google Sheets, and they had a baby, and they're a nice little threesome, that would be Airtable.
Okay, thank you for that. I'm a Notion user, so it's
Yeah,
okay.
so Notion's a little bit similar, and Notion has some relational data features, but Airtable is a lot more rigid in its structure, so you can't create like freeform notes and things like that. Notion's a little bit more similar to ClickUp, but similar principles in the Notion tables.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So you can use anything. Like I always tell people, start with a spreadsheet, and when you outgrow the spreadsheet, then go to like I don't recommend people jump right into Airtable right off the bat. Um, However, if you know you're that type and you're good picking up new tools and all that, yeah, Airtable is like this. It's just the best way to document uh, things because of that rigidity. We also have a couple questions, some quick ones from Ip Singh. Are you using Are you also documenting AI voice calling? Ip, do you want to just jump on a mic, or if you want to just ask that question a little deeper? I'm not quite sure what you mean. If it's possible, if you're not available. I'm going to take a guess that you mean that can you document voice calling scripts? Transcription. Yeah, Airtable. I mean, there's so many things Airtable does. You can create little agents that will do things like Airtable does way more than just documentation. I'm just showing you like, hey, if you document things, whichever tool you use, if you follow a structured format and you document in the way that I teach about, your AI, wherever you use it, will be better. Documenting this information in, even if you used it in a basic spreadsheet and then you connected N8N or any other tool for that matter, that's the information that an AI needs. It needs to know what everything does specifically, how to use everything, and how does it relate to everything else in the snapshot. That structure is more important than necessarily Airtable. And that's the only reason I don't want to go too down on Airtable, because there's a billion things Airtable can do. But they definitely do get a little techie. Michael's class should be required. Oh, thank you, Gabe. Well, I might as well start sharing a bit about that. So the special that I wanted to talk about was that I am launching a monthly membership, and it's basically everything that I've ever built, and I'm going to build all my trainings, SOPs. I have SOPs to teach your team, to teach yourself, and I have a snapshot that I'm developing, which is basically blank templates of the best practices of snapshot design that you can learn from or use as a base to build your own stuff. And I'm going to be adding to this every single month. And for everyone that's in Mario's world, I am giving a 25% coupon for you guys. It is no longer in my copy paste. So I'm going to have to go. It is Super Mario is the code. But I will give you guys the link in a second.
Mario.
Beautiful.
So Warren has a question on feature switching in the SaaS configure. Warren, do you want to unmute yourself and feel free to ask it?
Sure. I want to make sure that everybody had their answers question on Michael's SMP thing before. But if it's all right, I'll just hop in real quick and change the topic entirely.
100%.
And it should be pretty quick. So my question is, in the SaaS configurator, we usually, for our clients, we just unlock everything. And then they just pay through a separate invoice, not through the SaaS. But we have something where we want to lock down every feature, because I guess you can do that now, like switch everything off and give them access so they can go into the platform and see all the functionality. And then we have a custom menu link with something very like a lead magnet, very specific, that they will have access to. But the idea is to drive them into the platform, let them see everything, but not give them access to any of the functionality of the platform. And then we'll have upgrade tags and stuff within the platform that they can, banners and stuff that they can click on. So my question actually is what would that user experience be for them, and what functionality, even if you switched everything off, like the CRM, the email marketing, all that in the SaaS configurator, what's that experience like for that client, and can that be done?
To my knowledge, yes. Before I step on my own words, let me pull up my handy dandy CRM.
I was able to turn everything off in the SaaS configurator, but we don't have anybody on SaaS, so I wasn't able to test and see what the actual functionality was from a user perspective.
Yeah, so the way that it works is the upgrade path shows them a lock icon,
Okay.
and I'm looking for it right now because I have ooh, I need to remove that. The upgrade path has a lock icon, and the lock icon will basically show them uh that the feature exists, but not allow them to access it. Personally, I don't, and this is just me getting on my soapbox. I don't like doing that because it clutters the CRM and makes it feel overwhelming to the client to have all of these potential additional features. So generally what I do is one of two things. I hide all of the features altogether, and I use HL Pro Tools theme builder with the menu link hiding spreadsheet.
Oh.
And then I put a custom menu link with a funnel page embedded that has a video and different things they can learn about. But I consolidate all of it to one page because otherwise they still have 9 menu items on the left-hand side, but only one of them's relevant to them. And perceptually to the client, that just still feels cluttered and overwhelming. So I generally consolidate it down to that one funnel page and hide everything else. But that's obviously entirely up to you how you would do that.
Yeah,
And
I
high
think.
level,
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was saying high level is actually making a shift. Hopefully, at least one of Varun's goals. High level is making a shift to um, automatically hide things that people don't use on the left-hand menu bar, and use the global search function instead of actually having menu items like really at all, because one of the things that they're recognizing is this serious overwhelm that, like, it's the same thing with snapshots, right? Like when you have a snapshot with 5,000 different workflows in it, they may all be relevant and useful, but being able to actually see and like look at them feels like it gives people vapor lock. But and you were gonna say?
No, I was gonna say I don't disagree with that. But the CTA is basically to hop on a call to demo all the locked features, right? So we're giving them a super high value freebie within the platform. And once they're in there utilizing the freebie that we're giving them, like a custom AI thing for them, and then they can see the rest of the platform and all the functionality of it. And it's all based on all the rest of our messaging and stuff. So we wanted to try this out for a very specific vertical. And that's why I guess I was asking it. It wouldn't be for everybody, but there are techie people in our vertical that might be okay for. But I think
That's fair.
like your idea too, right? So I might want to try it both ways, right? So that's good information. Thank you.
Wonderful. And I've heard this a couple times today. People don't want to ask questions. They want other people. It's like, hey, if people want to get their questions answered, they got to step up and ask them. So please feel free to keep asking questions. And if I see another one I want to jump, I can always jump ahead. So yeah, don't be shy. Don't feel like you're taking too much. One thing I also wanted to share real quick, because this is still in a soft launch state. And what I mean by soft launch is everything's ready to go. I have people in the course. It's all able to be purchased in that, but I am still building a whole bunch of visuals out. So you might see a couple things that don't look fully polished. But the program is called Agency Unbound, and it's really unlocking the full potential of high level, because if you don't follow a good process, if you don't document things correctly, you're very limited in what you can do in high level because you don't want to overcomplicate things. They get messy. But if you have a good system, you're able to do a lot more high value things that are a lot more unique than what everyone else is doing. And yeah, so the full program there is, it's training, there's checklists, SOPs. Going to have weekly calls. There's the snapshots that we're giving. There's tests. There's the documentation system. But all you do in the links that are all in the Zoom chat, there's a free one as well. There's the free course, and then the Agency Unbound, which is the paid one. Yeah, you just jump on in, and you and it's at $99 a month unless you use the code Super Mario for the next 2 weeks. And if you use Super Mario, you get 25% off. So that is it. Where can you find the recording for this session? Mario, do you want to handle that one quick?
Yeah, sure. So the recordings are all posted on my YouTube. I will drop my link in the Zoom chat. It is also where one of the things that I like to do is meet with people and hear their stories and different challenges and how I can help them. So that is a link to all of my socials as well. And you can absolutely see my YouTube, and you can find all of those live videos. And then if you want a better recording on Zoom or something like that, Warren, I'm happy to share that with you directly.
Wonderful. And we had a question as well from Sonia. Can you talk about how to get started building a snapshot store and what the possibilities are? Yeah, so that is a very large question, which I do have about 12 minutes here before I have to bounce out. I would say with the snapshot store, are you talking about like for clients, like you like having your own clients and selling something like within your own agency, or are you selling to other agencies?
Not other agencies, but my clients and other people who are not agents, who don't have an agency.
Yeah, so it's more for them to buy your workflows and
Correct.
yeah. Um, you can do this. How many clients do you have currently?
Well, this is being launched. Like I said,
Like,
I have
yeah, within your whole agency, not just high level, but just in like what's your current client base right now, if you don't
about
mind
30,
asking?
30. Yeah, 30.
30 and all that. And are like they all on more like kind of boutique marketing? Are you doing like marketing things like services for them, or is it, like
So,
things that are a couple $100 a month or thousands a month, or are you in any
so
of
the
those
business is
realms?
shifting. A lot of what I've done, which is why I'm building the agency, is
Mhm.
teaching how to create an online presence, how to build your own courses. The tech got in the way. So that's when I
Yeah.
said I need to figure out how to create a platform for them to simplify getting started and not getting, hung up on, oh, I don't know. I'm not technical because my audience are musicians.
Yeah. So, oh, musician. Wonder. I did 5 years in an alt rock band.
Oh, cool.
Got the
Okay,
album
yeah.
out and then got the big debt afterwards, but that was many moons ago. So the reason why I was asking for that is that selling snapshots and multiple thing and having it means you're managing multiple snapshots, which means you're managing, you're setting up different sales stuff for them. I feel that what'll most likely happen is you're going to very quickly get to a spot where you're like, why don't I just give everybody one snapshot and manage one product and then make that one like supercharged and then just make so much value in it that everybody just gets it. You know, some people pay a little bit too much because they want one or two features that are really awesome. And then some people pay too little because they use absolutely every feature. I find that's where most people end up is they end up going down to let's just have one snapshot, make it really clear and simple. Don't add decisions.
Hmm.
Um, and then also you don't have to worry about, well, how do I import? Like people are importing snapshots and how do I connect it in and does it overwrite anything? And
Yeah.
you're going to get into, you're adding a lot of complication if you're doing at scale. Like if you had like saying like I have hundreds of clients or the clients I do have are more higher ticket type clients and I'm going to be charging like a service on top. Like they're buying the snapshot, but what they're buying is the service for you to customize it with them install. I could see that working, but I wouldn't think of that as a. Uh, I feel like it's complicating for the average client, especially musicians. Man, they need it. They
Simple.
they need
Yeah.
simple. They need it.
Simple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're real
Yeah.
dumb. Like especially if the drummer's the one doing the purchasing, right? So
Got it. Thank
So I
you.
will
That's kind of
say
what I needed to understand. Just I don't want to go down a bunny trail that wastes my time and is not really productive. So thank you.
there is a way to do something that is a little bit more automated. So one of the things that you can do in a snapshot or workflow store is leverage the API and N8N, which being a techie and being an EE, you should not have too much of a problem, and I can definitely coach you through it. But there is I think it's right here. I think it's updates SAS, subscribe snapshots, get snapshot, get snapshot, push between dates. There's a specific API call that I'm trying to remember exactly where it is. I want to say it may be under locations, sub accounts, sub account formerly location, put sub account. Here we go. This API call right here actually has the ability to don't prove me wrong, has the ability to push a snapshot into a location. So you can create micro snapshots of your workflows and functionalities, and then on purchase, trigger the snapshot to automatically load into their location.
Nice.
Yeah, there is lots of cool things. Like when I tell people to, like to be wary of going down that road and it's more of a thing of get that one snapshot under your belt, deliver a ton of value that these bands are making or musicians are making money from it, or they're getting all of their time back. And then you can strategically, then you'll have better information of which things should be broken out into smaller chunks, right? Get that value solidified and proven. And then you can say, well, hey, I want to be able to, this is actually the core of what everybody needs that everybody gets. And then we're going to add in just to decomplicate it. Like that's actually a good way to decomplicate things is breaking things up. It's complicated on your end because now you got to go in APIs and manage all that, but it'll decomplicate it for the customer because you're giving them just what they need. But really, again, we're talking. It sounds like you're in the spot where just get that first snapshot launched and successful. Hey, Tom, what's happening?
I think you might have confused Sonia's and my. I'm the one. I think I'm the one that put the band in there, and Sonia was talking about something else.
No,
Oh,
I'm
that's
sorry.
probably,
No,
dude. It's Thursday morning,
Did they
and
have,
so
actually,
it's
no.
probably on me.
does she have band on there too?
Yep.
That's my community.
Musician.
Oh, you're in the community. I didn't know that. Oh, okay. I came in late. Sorry. My thing is that I have a friend that Tennessee. He manages bands, and I was talking to him about this. But I'm one of those newbies and a little slow, and I don't even have my system set up with any automations. And so now I'm like, hey, this thing could do this stuff. And he's interested, but I'm kind of like, shoot. He goes, oh, show me a website or, so I could show it to the band. And I'm going, crap, I'm not good enough to build it yet. So I just don't know if I should. But I don't also want to lose out on this opportunity because I was talking to him more about just the benefits of an automated website. I kept it simple like that, but this program does so much, and I think we can grow from there. And it's an upcoming band,
I
so
would I'm going to jump to a couple conclusions. So there might be a nuance to this depending on your situation. But my general advice in these situations is the main opportunity for you right now is learning, right? Like I would look at all of the people you're approaching and being open with them saying, there's this really powerful tool and I need my beta client. I would love to have you on it. I will do you get them to pay for the tool and you just saying, hey, I will build a whole bunch of stuff for you. Your portion will be for free. And, or, like just getting them right. Because what you need right now is you need experience and you need to know what delivers value in high level. Because there's complications. There's things that look like they deliver value, but you get them in, you build them, you give them to the client, and then they don't use them. Oh, okay, well, we need a better onboarding process. Like I would just get them in and start building something, or even using for yourself. Like that would be my main thing, is that I wouldn't worry about trying to sell stuff right now, or put a snapshot that you sell at scale to like, don't think about that. I'd think of just take this band and start building things, start learning, start
I don't
understanding
have
how
them
the
yet,
system works.
so I still need to, well, one, I'm working with the manager, not the band, but I need to be able to sell them and say, do the little dog and pony show. So like, oh, this is so cool. So I get the sale, right? I'm not even at that point. So my thought was one of two things. One, I was looking online to buy a snapshot. I couldn't find anything. And or two, to find just some other website that uses Go High Level, that doesn't have to be banned, but it has all the bells and whistles to show the capabilities of what the system can do, and then hire somebody. They're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do it, and I would be involved and learn through it, but I don't want to mess things up, to hire somebody to actually build it out professionally.
Yeah. It also gets difficult because if you don't know high level, it's going to be you don't have the skills to vet a good person, a bullshitter, or someone who actually knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's very easy because with snapshots, you can buy a snapshot that looks really good. It's got all the automations and, it's got the 5-star reviews and blah, blah, blah. And then you get it. And then it's like, but actually using it, it's like, you
So
don't know.
in your system, you were talking about the super snapshot. Do you have, and you
Yeah.
train us how to do it? Is that super snapshot in there? And
So the snapshot that I do is more, I'd say it's a more intermediate. It's like what I'm developing is for people who are more on the scaling side. I have a lot of designs for how do you take a snapshot, and a snapshot is more for people with um, a working system. Like, hey, I want to, or a working offer where it's like, I'm offering this in the snapshot, this and this. How do we make that as scalable to, tens, hundreds, or thousands of people? So my snapshot is going to be for people learning those best practices, which I think there's probably some value there for you as well. But it's more for someone who's going to be doing, I would more put your person you hire through that. Like I would say, hey, get a VA or someone that is a high level expert, put them through the courses, because they will get more value and they'll give you more value, because it is a little bit more of an intermediate level knowledge. It's assuming you already know how to use high level, is all the stuff that I have, like all the basics.
yeah, I know the basics. It's just finding things or getting to the right spot, or like, oh, you want to do a voice AI, you have to do two parts to it. And, once you do this part, then you go over here and you do that, then it changes
Yeah.
your app over. That just takes the little quirks in the system.
And
I just,
it's those little quirks though at scale though, like a small road bump when if you're selling to 10 or 20 or 100 people, small road bumps add up to a lot. So what I'd say is, like, I have the free training, which I would definitely recommend to get started in.
I opened
And
it up.
it's, oh yeah, the free one there. Go through that. That one's really short. It's punchy. It's not a lot of theory. And if that one is like, oh shoot, this helps me organize my stuff, this is all I need to get going, you're good. Awesome. If you need more than that, um, I would say that. But what my offer is more for, how do you build your systems? How do you build an operation that scales in high level? Not as much as the
Got it.
bells and
Okay,
whistles or the tech and all that. Yeah,
that's good. Thank you.
no problem. I like to disqualify people because I want to make sure people get, there's a lot of courses out there. Like, Mario does a lot of awesome stuff, specifically with implementation and automations and probably everything else and things. But yeah, I'm the nerdy guy that you want to put your team through, and because yeah, it gets in. We talk about a lot of that stuff. Cool. Anyone got a last minute question there? I'd be happy to fit one more in before I bounce out. Seeing none. Thank you guys for jumping in today. As I said, I do have the free training. Everyone should take that. It's literally the most essential knowledge that nobody knows how to do, but it's very, very practical. It'll change how you it will give you the skills that you need to scale. And when you're ready to go a little deeper, there's the paid membership. Again, Super Mario for the next week or two, you can get 25% off. And I'm giving absolutely everything I put in is going into that program, and everything I build in the future, every update. So love to have you guys there. Cool, guys. Mario, send us off, buddy.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Michael. I really appreciate you, brother. And thank you, everyone, for joining in today. We had quite a few viewers on Facebook as well. So if you're still watching this on Facebook Live or YouTube Live, thank you so much. Just a reminder, tomorrow we are off for our calls because it is 4th of July in the US. So for those of you who celebrate, I hope that you have a wonderful holiday. And for those of you who don't, enjoy working. The rest of us will be blowing our fingers off. But anyways, appreciate everybody and have a wonderful rest of your day. See you guys.